Hello, this is Ben Ruley with the Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District with your weekly conservation report. With the Great Minnesota Get Together, the Minnesota State Fair, recently wrapping up, I thought it might be interesting to explore its history and its relationship with the agricultural industry in Minnesota. Although many people go to the fair for rides, concerts, and food, there is obviously still a huge agricultural aspect to the fair. The Minnesota Agricultural Society was founded in 1854 with a mission to promote the Minnesota Territory's agriculture by presenting an annual fair, the first of which was held in 1855 in Minneapolis. During the fair's early years, the site of the exposition changed annually, with stops in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Rochester, Red Wing, Winona, and Owatonna. The State Fair finally found a permanent home at its present location in 1885 when Ramsey County donated its 210-acre poor farm to the state for use by the Agricultural Society, the governing body of the state's fair. Secure in its new surroundings, the Minnesota State Fair began to grow. Today, the fairground covers 322 acres. Since its inception, the fair has been held every year with only six exceptions. In 1861 and 1862, due to the Civil War and the US-Dakota War, in 1893, because of scheduling conflicts with the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, in 1945, due to federal government travel restrictions during World War II, in 1946, due to the polio epidemic, and in 2020 due to the COVID-19 epidemic. According to organizers, the agricultural and creative competitions drew more than 33,000 entries this year. Trophies and ribbons were handed out in each category, and fair officials say there were nearly $2 million in prize money. Competitions included livestock, horses, school projects, dog trials, baked and canned goods, fruits, vegetables, crafts, bees and honey products, fine arts, farm crops, flowers, butter, cheese, and more. Organizers say the Purple Ribbon auction for this year's fair set 14 new record prices and raised more than $1,220,000 for the 115 4-H members who participated in the auction. Fair officials say 58 4-H youth participants were awarded $140,000 in scholarships. This year, Emma Kubel of Waterville, Minnesota, representing Rice County, was crowned the 70th Princess K of the Milky Way. Here are some more Minnesota State Fair facts from the official State Fair website. Wondering what year electricity was first used at the fair, allowing it to operate after sunset? Well, that occurred in 1899. When is the Minnesota State Fair held? It lasts 12 days, the 12 days leading up to and through Labor Day. How long would it take the average cow to produce all the milk served during the fair's 12-day run at the all-you-can-drink milk booth? It's estimated at 8 to 9 years. Around 26,000 gallons of milk are served each year at that booth. Here are some other interesting numbers related to the Minnesota State Fair. 1 million. 1 million attendees was first reached at the fair in 1955. This year's attendance, in contrast, was 1,835,000 and change. The record attendance for the Minnesota State Fair occurred in 2019. That year, over 2.1 million people attended the Minnesota State Fair. 25,000. That's how many ears of corn the corn roast food vendor goes through each day on average at the fair. 156. That's how many baby animals were born at the CHS Miracle of Birth Center during the State Fair this year, which included calves, lambs, and piglets. 3 million. 3 million cookies are made daily by Sweet Martha's Cookie Jar at the fair. Well, I hope some of these facts were interesting to you and maybe you learned something new about the Minnesota State Fair. If you haven't gotten a chance to go recently, I recommend trying to get there next year. This has been Ben Ruley from the Stearns County SWCD with your weekly conservation report. Thank you.